Hello YouTube, it's Trace Face. I pulled over here and at this cemetery. It's cemeteries are usually places I like to go to think, and I feel peace at cemeteries. It's one of the things I like to do. I'm very sad today. I found out last night that my favorite uncle, my Uncle Bill, is going to be leaving us to go to be with the Lord. He had to have brain surgery. He had a tumor on his brain, and they had to remove it. And they thought that he'd be in a coma for a while, and he ended up having a stroke. So it's a matter of days. And my dad has 3 siblings. My dad's the youngest, and this is the second to the family. That my dad's the youngest, and then it was my Uncle Bill, so my dad was very close to him. My dad's taken it really, really bad, as all of us, but mostly my dad, and my immediate family. And it's really unexpected. It happened pretty much overnight. It's really hard. And today, I wanted to put this video out to all of you because I wanted to talk about some of the things that were going on in my mind after I found this out last night. I was thinking about how, life is so short, and some of the things that we find ourselves getting upset, right, and getting stressed over are really, they're really not worth it, and when death comes along, it's just this realization of your life and really what's important. And along with that, I believe it's really about your choices and always doing the right thing. And no matter how much you've been hurt, it's always about doing the right thing. And so the other thing I wanted to say, and this is probably one of the hardest things that I could say, because it's been something I've struggled with, and I've recognized that today, and that is forgiveness. The word itself, when we think about what the narc has done to us, for many of us, we gave our heart and our soul to a person, and they ripped it out, they danced over it, they spit over it, they kicked it. For many of them, they rejoiced over our misery. They wanted us to be just like them. And I think what happened to all of us, is horrible. And I think it's very awful. And I'm sorry to all of you that it happened. But today, I had this feeling that was coming over me that I couldn't describe, and it was like it was coming from somewhere else, and it was speaking to me real loud. And it was telling me that you have to at some point get to a point where you're asking God to forgive them if you can't do it yourself, or you got to do it within your own heart. And for everyone, I want to make this clear. For everyone, I think that's going to come at a different stage. It's going to come in a different stage, and it might even come in stages. But it's something I've been trying to deny myself, and maybe others, for a long time, in terms of, that word, forgiveness. So my message to all of you today is when that stage comes for you and certain things come along into your life and show you something, just remember you also have to forgive yourself. Because I know a lot of you are struggling with, you didn't like how you became. You didn't like the way it affected you and affected your own identity and your spirit and your soul. And a lot of you are trying to climb back up again. But when I look at the people in my life that truly did love me and cared about me, they never wanted to hurt me. They never ever wanted to hurt me, and if they did, they made sure that they made right on their wrongs, and that's how I think that we know the difference between people that really did love us and people that didn't. And that hurts. It's torturous, and it's hell within itself, But when I think about my Uncle Bill, I'll always think about how he was different, He was he's very much like me in terms of like he was feisty, and I'll never forget when I was younger and he came over to the house and told my father that he up and quit his job because he had had enough of his employer. And I remember as a kid being like, way to go, Uncle Bill. And of course my dad's always been by the book. My dad is very much like, don't do things like that, get a plan in place, And my Uncle Bill had had enough for the person he worked for. He worked in that plant most of his life, and he was done. And his favorite thing to do was to make everybody laugh. Anytime we get together, it was always about making people laugh. He loved to do that. One of the last things he said to me was he said he was proud of me. Sometimes we need to hear some things like that, and it'll stay with me. It's going to always stay with me because he got to see me turn my life around. And so I want to tell all of you the same thing. I'm proud of all of you for fighting, being strong, getting to a place where you can look at yourself. That's the difference, guys, is that we're at a place where we can actually look within and make necessary changes to make ourselves better every day. And that's what makes all of you such lovely people, such wonderful people, is that you have that ability to do that. You have that ability to be a better person every day. You want to. You crave to be a better person every day, So I'm here to remind you guys of that. Don't lose sight of that. And I think when death comes around, it's to remind us what life is supposed to be all about. That's a message I wanted to put out today. I thank you for sticking through this video with me as I'm crying and pouring my guts out, which is what I do on my channel, right? I'm Trace Face, and it's time we face the truth together.